Hello, thank you so much for joining the NYC Manila Speaker Summit. I'm just so glad you've taken this time to invest in yourself and in your future and for hearing me today. My name is Nicole Boswell and I am the co-owner of Trainicity. Trainicity is an online learning production company. We make online learning videos and courses and virtual presentations for companies all across the globe. And I love online learning. I've been doing this for over a decade. I'm a really big advocate. And as I'm sure you can imagine, 2020 has been a really crazy year in my industry. Before I jump into what I want to talk about today, we all need to kind of get on the same page about what is online learning. A lot of people have different definitions of it. So let me tell you what it means to me. To me, online learning is any learning done online, any of it. This could be an online video that you watch on YouTube, self-paced online courses, perhaps a course you take for your job, or a virtual meeting or a virtual summit like this. It could even be online reading or a podcast that you listen to. All of that is online learning. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, this year, because of COVID-19, there has been a historic 36.3% spike in the online learning market. It's never happened to this industry before. Even with this spike, it's anticipated that the online learning market is going to continue to grow by 10.3% every year until 2027. Online learning's been around a while. It's been growing a while. We have this obvious spike because of COVID-19, but it's going to continue to increase. What I want to talk about during my time today is, first, I want to talk about what we've experienced with online learning during 2020. And I want to talk about the bright future of online learning going forward. But first, let's talk about what happened with online learning in 2020. In 2020, online learning became like a new swear word. Online learning plagued many people, my family included. This is my family. I know, we are adorable. My family, we actually recently moved to a new state so that my husband could finish his master's degree. And when his school was forced to go online, it kind of made that move really hard. It kind of felt like we moved for no reason. In addition, it made things like paying out-of-state tuition really hard. And it also made it hard for my husband when he had an answer to a question and he couldn't get an answer. We also had these two kids in school, and managing our schools, our kids' online learning, plus my job full time, plus my husband in school. Online learning certainly was a swear word in our home, for sure. Now, having been in this industry for a long time, I can tell you that what we've experienced with online learning in 2020 was not normal. The growing pains that we experienced this year were due to the rapid and unexpected entry of formal education into the online learning market. So this is public schools, private schools, higher education, ready or not, they were forced into it. And some of them were ready and some of them were not. And as a result of this, there was a lot of pain points that we experienced. My favorite list I found actually came from a large survey that was done that found that some of the top pain points that learners experienced this year from online learning was poor content, little collaboration in the learning, inconsistent instruction, little or no access to the professors, or I'll say even to feedback, poor instructor preparation, and just limited technical knowledge by those that were in charge of it. And unfortunately, there's been some results that have come out of it. You can see these results in the news, and we will probably continue to hear about them going forward. Here's just a couple of examples from the United States. In the US, four-year institutions are seeing an average of 6 to 8% decline in fall 2020 enrollments. And of one survey that was done, 63% of students indicated that their online learning was worse compared to what they got in person. And so you may wonder, Nicole, why would you advocate so heavily for online learning given that it was rough in 2020? Well, what happened in 2020, like I said, it was not normal. And I do want to fully acknowledge that there are some pros to online learning and there were some cons as well. And a lot of those cons to online learning were highlighted this year as a result of COVID-19. Here's some of the cons of online learning. This isn't specific to COVID. This has just always been the case. Online learning is a different learning experience. Many of us were raised in a way where our primary education, we got up, we physically left our house with our backpacks, and we sat down in an environment that was conducive to learning, where an instructor led us through our learning experience. Well, that is not the case with online learning. Oftentimes it happens at home where there's distractions and there's other things to do. And it leaves many learners feeling isolated, having a hard time managing their time, and less motivated. Another big con to online learning is that there is a huge learning curve into getting into the online learning market for those that make it. So online learning creators, from instructor-led to online, they don't just need to learn the technology, but they also need to learn how to engage students online and also how to gather feedback and give feedback in an online format. A lot of the pains that we experienced this year was trying to do this exact duplication of the in-person experience to the online experience, and it is not the same. It is very, very different, the type of design and strategy and approach. And while going through that learning curve of learning how to get from instructor-led to online, it's really hard for those that are producing the instruction. Lastly, online learning is so platform and technology dependent. You could have the best teacher in the world, but if they don't know how to use the platform or the technology, all of that value can be lost. So why do I advocate for online learning? Because of the pros. There are so many. They've been around forever and they will continue to be around. Here are some of the incredible pros of online learning. First off, online learning is self-paced. And I'll even add to this, self-regulated. All of us like to learn in a different way. I'm a note taker. Perhaps you prefer to listen. Perhaps you prefer long learning sessions or short. For a lot of online learning, you can do it in your own way. Another huge pro of online learning is that it's cheaper. In many industries, it's a tenth of the price to do online instruction and produce it and make it available to you versus in person. And because it's cheaper to produce, it's also cheaper for you to access, making it more accessible for those who otherwise might not be able to get it. Another thing that online learning does is that rather than only having what's available to you locally, you can gain literally a global perspective on any specialization that you want. You are never limited to what's available to you here. So it opens up everything to you. And lastly, regarding online technology, online learning technology, it has improved even during my decade in this industry. It has improved so much, and it's going to continue to improve over time. Now, I believe that there's a really bright future to online learning that we can all be a part of. And here are some of the reasons that I feel that way. First off, formal education will catch up. I know a lot of us saw the learning curve and had to experience it the hard way, but bear in mind that online learning is not new and that formal education can learn a lot from the corporate market who's been doing online learning for a long time. I firmly believe that formal education is only going to get better from here in the online learning market. Another thing that I love about the future of online learning is the fact that we can all be part of it. I really challenge you to get educated about what's available for you online. This could be something just as learning a new skill through YouTube or trying out a new podcast that kind of stretches your skills. You may even do something a little more formal, such as register for an online course in LinkedIn Learning, or even go back and get a degree that you've been waiting on for a long time. The incredible thing about online learning is that if you want to learn about it, you can. You just got to find what is out there and how you best want to experience it. Another thing that I think it makes the future of online learning bright is the fact is we can all learn how to learn again. We all learned how to learn in a classroom with a teacher who told us what to do. I know that we can also learn how to learn at home. Just like many of us are learning how to work from home, we're learning the things that work, that don't work. It's the same thing for learning online. In online learning, you have to learn how to create a workspace that is quiet, that is separated. You got to choose goals that are small and help you stay motivated, and you need to manage your time as well. But if you learn how to learn again, you can have a really positive experience with online learning. And it's probably going to be a really important skill to have for the future, given the fact that it's growing so much. Lastly, I believe that if we all advocate for a more positive online learning experience, that the future is only going to get brighter. You all can be an advocate for good online learning. If you participate in formal online learning, be an advocate for the best practices that are out there. If there's an issue with the platform, then let the person who's managing that platform know that it's been challenging so that they can improve it. Let the instructor know that you need more feedback or you need them to be a little more accessible. If we all collectively work together, it's only going to get better from here. Now, in closing, I just want to say that there are two things I firmly believe about online learning. First off, it's not going away. It is going to continue to be here for a really long time. And secondly, we all can benefit from that. The future of online learning is very bright. We've already had it a long time. It's already improved a lot. It's going to continue to improve. Formal education is going to continue to get better at managing online learning. And in the meantime, we all can benefit from it. We can learn how to learn again. We can learn about anything that we want to. It's more accessible now than ever. I firmly believe that through online learning, the world is available to you. So I really invite you to be part of online learning going forward. Learn how to learn again and take advantage of everything that's available to you through online learning. Thank you again so much to the NYC Manila Speaker Summit for inviting me to come. I'm really honored to have had this chance to speak to you. If you want to know more about Trainicity, check out www.trainicity.com, and I really hope that you continue to enjoy the Speaker Summit. Thank you so much.